Hey guys, Drew with Because Jiu-Jitsu. We're going over 50-50 guard in this particular video, and it's going to be a fairly inclusive video, so it should give you everything you need to know about what the position is, how to navigate through it, both offensively and defensively, escaping it entirely, as well as at least 4 good attacking options from it. So the 50-50 guard is often lamented in tournaments because it tends to be a stagnant position, especially in the gi and especially in IBJJF when you aren't allowed to heel hook. It can be a really sticky position to be in, which is good if that's the way you want to use it, but if you're the one stuck in it, you got to know how to break out. So we're going to go over a bunch of different highly utilized ways to do that, and it should hopefully familiarize you with the position itself to a point that you can use it either offensively or defensively yourself. Alright, we're just going to start with a basic description of what is the 50-50 guard. It's going to be a leg entanglement where, just like the name implies, it's a neutral position where we're basically in the same position, vice versa, like a mirror image. I've got one leg that is wrapping from the inside to the outside of the hip, and he's doing the exact same thing from the inside of my leg to the outside of my hip, like a yin-yang. First thing I want to note here is we're basically sitting in what I would call a neutral 50-50, where we're both seated. Neither of us is in a dominant position right now. And we'll go over what those look like as we progress in this video, but there is considered a top and a bottom to 50-50 once we start moving around in it. Here, neither of those are in play, which is very neutral right now. I want to point out that you always want to check this foot, the one that's coming over top of their leg, because this is going to be primarily what people will start attacking when you're in 50-50 if you let them. So I want to take my outside foot and at least cross it over. You can even hug it in nice and tight to make sure that it's difficult to get to this foot underneath to attack. That's going to be sort of like a no-brainer when you're in this position. You don't want to be sitting here all lazy because somebody will eat that foot up. We're going to hide it like this, and now we're going to start working with our moves. Alright, so the first move we're going to look at now is how to take the dominant position in 50-50. One thing about this position is I can't just sit up on my partner because they have built-in a knee shield right here against my chest and my belly. As I sit up, I just run into a wall right here. So you can't just get up, which makes it frustrating to try to navigate if that's what you're trying to do. The trick to this one is I'm going to actually take my hands and move them away from this shield on this side of my body. I'm going to, the moment I do that, I'm going to untie my feet, come here, and I'm going to push with my hips into that shield, which will knock him backwards. If he's posted here, I'm going to reach for that hand, pull it out, throw my hips in and take. This is the top position of 50-50 now. So you can more obviously see he's on the bottom and I'm more obviously on the top. This would be considered the dominant position. It's if you start in a neutral position in 50-50 in IBJJF and you do this move, you actually get 2 points for a sweep because you've taken the top. So conversely, if I'm the one who got dumped over in this position, my partner does exactly what we just did. I get knocked down now, I'm in the bottom position. I want to, just like before, cover up this foot, at least at the ankles, even to a triangle here is good to keep that foot safe for the time being. And then to knock this position over, turn 90 degrees. I'm going to grab at the ankle right here, either at the gi or you can underhook if this is no gi. And I want to cup right at the knee right here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add like a levering pressure like this as I unhook my leg and pendulum the outside leg, kick, which is going to come up into the top position. Alright, so from a different angle now, I'm getting those same grips. I'm underhooking or grabbing the pants at the heel or the ankle. I'm cupping the knee right here. I'm going to untangle my leg this way, causing a pendulum to swing and then kick with this other one. Come up and take that top position on 50-50. So now that we've gone over how to take the top position from neutral as well as how to sweep to the top position from bottom, we're going to go over how to untie this position altogether. So there's a couple good ways that we're going to go over. Just like we were talking about before, covering that leg, keeping it safe while we're working here. I want to be reaching for this arm here, which if it's back there, it might be a little problematic, but oftentimes they're grabbing at you and doing things, so it shouldn't be too hard to get a hold of the cuff right here is what I'm looking for. If it's no gi, you can grab here, but this one is particularly good for the gi because you can get a spider grip. And now that I've got this hand at least controlled, I'm going to take this outside foot and put it on the bicep and get some push-pull tension here. So now I'm not too concerned about covering up this foot because he can't really attack it with this far side. So I've got his attacking arm under control for the time being. Now, what I need to do is I need to pass this foot over onto the other side. I need to do it in a way that this arm isn't going to be able to stop it like that. So you can trap it right here, or if he's grabbing at something, you can just time it. Sometimes I'll just time it. If you can grab it, that's even better. And I'm going to swing this one motion over to this side. That's where I want it. And now this position has changed completely. We've gone from 50-50 to what some people term 50-0, where we've got the 50 here and he's got nothing over there. So what I want to do now is I want to bend both of my legs in the same direction like this and bringing my heels that way like this so that I can lean up onto my knees as I get up like this. Coming up into a smash position, which is essentially a leg drag. My chest is going to be down on his knee. And I get either head and arm control here, or I can even get a gift wrap right here. Either way, I just want to make sure his upper body is pinned. And then all I have to do is just sprawl out, and their legs are not going to be able to control that sprawl. It breaks the lock, and we come right around to the side. So again, I get cuff control, push-pull tension. I'm going to flip that over to the side, coming up to the top. Head and arm control, sprawl, go to the side. So there's another escape we can do from the standing top position on 50-50, where I'm going to come up, just like we did at the beginning, take the top. Now, as we were talking about earlier, they're almost always going to be checking this foot, which is good for them, but we need to deal with this if we're going to untie the position in this next way. What I need to do is get my arm underneath here. I'm going to karate chop down on top of his foot. I'm not really looking to lift really hard right here. I'm just sort of weaving my arm like this. And once it's here, all I have to do to untie this is lever with my elbow and that'll come off. So I'm just setting this in place for when I'm ready to do that. I'm going to come right up to standing, right here. Lever, which opens. I'm going to grab the pants right here on both sides. Throw my hips forward, pass it through, and come right to knee on belly. So from this angle, we're going to take the top, set up this little untying trick, stand, grab the pants, throw the hips, and come into knee on belly. So there's a possibility that when we're going for this untying, that standing variation, where we're not going to be able to untie the legs like we just did. So say we get to this, and he's really hunkered down on this. He's got a triangle, his heel's trying to touch the floor. There's a lot of pressure on this thing. And I can't really lever underneath this to even weave my arm through to the top of the foot. Because this is kind of an unnatural position for my arm to be trying to lever up on. It's not going to work when somebody's really holding this hard. So what I'm going to do is I'm still going to come to standing like this. I want to hold this arm. I'm basically going to put the two escapes together. I've held this so that I have a chance to move this leg over to this side. And when I do that, I'm just going to drop this knee to the ground, and we know where we're at right now. We're going to hug the body, sprawl, we're past. So essentially with that variation, we're putting those two escapes together. We're going to take the top. We realize we can't get this unlocked, so I'm going to stand up like this, grab the arm. When I feel like I'm ready, I'm nice and balanced. I'm going to swing this over, put my knee to the ground, get body control, extend to come to the side. All right, so now that we've sort of navigated the position, we can get up from the bottom, from neutral. We can get up from the bottom proper with the sweep. We can untie it in 3 different ways. We're going to look at a few attacks that we have from here, some good options. So obviously, feet are going to be a primary attacking option because they're just sitting right beside my attacking arm. The first thing I want to touch on, although we're in a gi here and you can't do this in IBJJF, this becomes a very, very dangerous position in no-gi tournaments where you can heel hook, because there's an inside heel hook literally sitting right beside you, okay? So always keep that in mind. I like to use the analogy, in IBJJF, 50-50 is like quicksand, in ADCC 50-50 is like a minefield. You're basically just sitting right on top of an explosive situation here. If any time this comes unhooked, it's immediately right here for that inside heel hook. So you gotta be really careful with that. If you're allowed to do these in whatever competition you're in, keep that in mind, both defensively, but also offensively. If this is ever available, we're just gonna come down like this, bury for our inside heel hook. Now for attacks that you can use in IBJJF tournaments and even at the white belt level, we're gonna start with a straight ankle lock. And the way that we're going to do that one is we're going to basically get that untie that we were doing for that standing pass. So I'll take the top, get to here, I bring this down, karate chop, Now I'm going to lever it off right now. I'm going to take it off right here. I'm going to really dig this one underneath, putting the toes into my armpit. I want to get this fed to my far collar right here, tight. I don't want it loose like this. I want to bring it real tight so there's tension right here. And now I'm going to fall back into the 50-50 position here, pinching my knees tight. I'm just extending to try to put my belly down on the ground this direction. It's going to put a lot of pressure on this angle. So again, from a different angle, taking the top, coming underneath, karate chop, lever that off. I want to come underneath like this, right at the Achilles tendon. I'm getting that blade of my arm, feed this tight. I'm going to fall back down, hiding my feet again, pinching my legs, and turning the belly down in this direction to get my finish. Now, there's an oddball submission that you can hit from that top 50-50 position that I wouldn't even believe that it worked, except that I've had it used on me and I know that it works. And this will catch people by surprise because you don't expect it. And it's a one-arm toe hold. And I'll show you what that looks like. So we're going to take the top, come up like this, and once we untie this position, just like we did before, coming underneath like this, I'm going to actually grab his pants, kind of like midway up the shin right here, get some tension so that I can put my elbow right on his pinky toe right here. And now I'm just going to lean my knee forward towards him and my elbow towards the ground. And that actually puts a toe hold on him very, very tight and surprises you right away. I remember the first time I got hit with this, I didn't even know why I tapped, it just hurt. So again, we're taking the top, we're untying that position, grabbing the pants right here and just putting our elbow around the pinky. I don't want to do it right from here, I want to lean forward so it preloads all the stress on that knee and then just lean down. All right, the last one we're going to go over is a famous one that was made famous by Keenan Cornelius against, I think it was Paulo Miyao. He hit this on originally when they were brown belts, and that's a 50-50 arm bar, which sounds bizarre because their arms are way up here. It should be out of range, but there's ways that we can adjust this. I'll turn a little bit so you can see how I do this. So the objective here is going to be this near arm. So I want to at least get a grip right here, starting in this neutral position right here. It should keep him knocked down. If it hasn't knocked him down, make sure he's knocked down, get him down. And then I'm going to start twisting my body in this direction. The objective is to get this knee closer and closer in between his thigh, like this. So keep this locked like that. I'm going to be twisting, twisting. And the moment I can flip this foot over top, this is my time to go. I'm going to yank this hard and put my leg over his head here. And it doesn't look like much, but his elbow's in between my legs. I'm going to pinch my knees and finish this arm bar right here. So from a different angle, I'm going to get control over this far arm, making sure that he's down. And I need to start spinning so that I get more 90 degrees with his body in this way here, bringing this knee closer to where I can flip over top. And at this point, it's go time. I'm going to flip over top and really scooting as far as I can go. Get that arm bar right there. So there you go. That's a good repertoire for 50-50. There's other moves in there. Obviously, there are. You will find them as you play around, but this should give you a nice roadmap for how to get in, out, navigate around, and hit some attacks if the opportunity presents itself. So add this to your toolbox if it isn't already. Drop some comments about future videos if you'd like to see some certain suggestions. We're ready to hear it. Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure to subscribe for the next one, and we'll see you then.